G'day guys, welcome to Moto DNA. Here we have four of the probably some of the fastest kids in Australia at the moment. We've got to my right, we've got Harry Voigt. We've got little Billy Van Herd. We've got Senna Aegis, not so little, and Croz Francis. So the two guys to my right here, we've got Harry and Billy. These guys race in Europe at the moment in the Asia Talent Cup, the Red Bull Rookies Cup. So these guys are seriously quick, and we're super happy to have a chat to them today, and happy to have them out here at Moto DNA to hear about where they're looking to go and what they're looking to do for the future. So I'll pass it on to Harry and tell us a little bit about what it's like racing in Asia, racing overseas and in Asia.
Racing overseas has been a bit of a challenge this year, as I only just turned 13 throughout the season. So it's been a great experience seeing all the new different cultures. So see how we go next year in 2020.
And Billy, what's it like putting it on the big stage, winning a couple of Red Bull Rookies Cup races, and you took out the Asia Talent Cup Championship? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, it was a good year last year, winning the Asia Talent Cup, and then this year I was racing in the FIMCV Repsol and the Red Bull Rookies Cup, and it was a tough year, had a lot of crashes, and the Rookies Cup it come good in the end, got a few podiums and a win in Aragon. And the CV just kept improving, and yeah, it's been tough, but it's all good, just learning and looking forward to next year.
Thanks, Billy, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can do out on the track. Senna took out the Supersport 300 Championship this year, which was an absolute awesome ride on the Kawasaki 400. How does that feel, and what do you think? Tell us a little bit about what's happening for you next year. It's some pretty exciting news.
Yeah, I gained a lot of experience racing for Midori Moriwaki overseas, and as soon as I got back on my 400, I was up to speed. I learned a lot of skills in Japan, and yeah, I just carried my momentum off a solid season in Japan into the Supersport 300 Championship and got that done. And yeah, and then we've just been training, and happy to say a couple of weeks ago that I'm riding for the 658 team next year in the CV Repsol with Billy, and I have no doubt that how hard it's going to be. So we're here like days today getting track time before we have to head over and see what we can do.
And how is it coming to a Moto DNA day to get that track time and coaching training?
Yeah, it's really good, like it's not many days here juniors can get on here, so and it's some good track time with some cool people, so yeah, it's good.
Awesome, thank you, Senna. All right, Croz, how does it feel looking at these guys, being a little bit younger, racing in the OJC, this is the Oceanic Junior Cup in the Australian Superbike Championship, and that's on an R15, mixing up with some of these guys on a Moto 3 with not much experience on the road bike. How do you feel, and what does it look like to be looking at these guys sitting next to you and what you want to achieve in the future?
Well, obviously, I'm not as good as these guys yet, and this is where I want to be, in Asia Talent Cup and Red Bull and obviously in CV. And these guys are a lot more experienced than me, and it feels good to be riding with them, not really competing, but yeah, hopefully next year or in future years I'll be riding and competing with them.
And how do you think that Moto DNA days are helping you out with that kind of thing? I know that there's a lot of dirt bike training in the background and a lot of track time, but coming and get some coaching off some of these guys, how does that help you as a rider and become more consistent to get to the level that these guys are at now?
At Moto DNA, it was really good coaching, very in depth with the video shadowing, and it just getting on these good tracks like Eastern Creek is very hard in Australia with these for the juniors, so it's very good training.
Awesome, thanks guys. There you have it. Another great day at Moto DNA with some young Australian talent. Keep an eye on them at Foxtel all over the world. Live stream. These guys are going to be the names to look out for.